Hey everybody, what is going on? IcyCat here, and this time we're going to be going over all the changes coming to the game with the latest mid-season reinforcements patch. We've got incoming buffs and nerfs to operators that completely change the way they play. New features, lots of changes, fixes, and more coming to the game. So if you missed today's live stream going over all that info, we're going to go over all the details of what you can expect to see changed in the game next. Operation Blood Orchids mid-season reinforcements will be available tomorrow, Thursday, October 26th, on all platforms. Now for those that don't know, the mid-season reinforcements are a big change that comes in the middle of each season. While it doesn't introduce any new maps or operators, this is generally the time where any significant buffs or nerfs to existing operators will occur, as well as any big changes to the game's infrastructure. Sometimes, new features or mechanics are added as well. So what does this season's reinforcement update give us that's new? First up, let's talk about the changes to our existing operators. We've got several that are being completely reworked, starting with Kapkan. He will now be getting an overall speed upgrade, going from a heavy 1-speed, 3-armor operator to a faster, streamlined 2-speed, 2-armor operator. This will give him more time to get his traps in position as he moves about the map faster. This does make him slightly less tanky in damage reduction, but makes him a much more viable roamer to follow up on his traps now that he can move around more quickly. Those traps are also getting a complete rework too. He's now going to be getting 5 of them instead of 3, but Kapkan's traps are not necessarily insta-kill traps anymore. Instead of outright killing, they will now do a specified amount of damage, depending on the armor rating of the person triggering the trap. Light armor operators will receive 60 damage from a trap. Level 2 medium armor operators will only take 50 damage, and heavy armor operators will take 40 points of damage from each trap. While it is possible to kill with these traps, as you can see, the target will have to have already taken enough damage first before triggering it in order for it to be lethal now. While that sounds like a nerf, and in some ways it definitely is, the traps themselves are probably going to be getting more effective in general now because they do get a significant buff in a different way. The laser emitter from Kapkan's traps will now be completely invisible. Only the box on the side that gets attached will be a visual cue as to where the trap is now. With no red laser beam to spot anymore, this means that not only will they be far less likely to be seen by the enemy attackers, but you can also finally make them useful for windows, where they were almost always spotted and taken out. Even just leaving them in open doorways, unless they check the sides before they walk through, it's going to be a lot harder for them to see those coming. The next operator that's getting a much requested buff is going to be Blitz. He'll now be able to do a shield rush. Previously, when he sprinted, he was more vulnerable and would run with his shield at his side. If he wanted that full protection of the shield directly in front of him, he was limited to a slow walking speed only. Now he can sprint while keeping the shield directly in front, and he actually becomes even safer, because he pulls his gun hand in to do so. He uses both hands to maintain the shield in front of him while running, meaning he'll only be able to get shot in the legs at a dead run instead of having the additional point of vulnerability of the weapon arm and hand that are exposed from the front while walking. During his sprint, he can still quickly trigger the shield flash while running with a very quick transition to being able to shoot again, so he gains much more flexibility than he loses while doing so. This will let Blitz move more safely, more quickly, and really create some effective charging attacks, allowing him to live up to his namesake, because it's very important for him to close that distance to be able to effectively get that flash off. Another operator is getting a bit of a nerf though. Ella has been really popular since release, but has also gotten some feedback for being a little overpowered and becoming the new Jaeger main alternative or even replacement. Ella's Scorpion SMG is now getting a stronger recoil penalty, so it's not quite as laser precise anymore. Additionally, she is getting 1 less concussion mine to throw out, so she'll have 3 instead of 4. Those changes are a little confusing because I think the balancing change most people seem to be looking for was to just make that 50-round magazine she had into maybe a more typical 30-round mag. Most people didn't really think she needed less mines because it seemed to be her ammo capacity that made her a little too strong. So now she gets a little more recoil penalty, but the 50-round extended magazine stays, along with losing 1 of her throwable proximity concussion mines. There will also be some changes regarding network and connectivity. The first of those is Latency Alignment, which is something that allows the server to mirror the reaction time of the shooter with an unstable connection more accurately. Additionally, they are introducing an upper limit on the latency required to initiate extra hit validation steps. Hit validation is getting improved overall by focusing on the replication of actions in match. This will result in a more responsive experience for everyone while reducing overall latency. Aside from that, we'll also have more accurate ping values, reflecting the true ping states, whereas before it also included processing delay as part of the ping rating. And we'll be seeing connectivity icons. There will be 4 new icons that can appear in the upper corner of the display. When they do, it will be a form of feedback letting you know what type of connectivity issue you might be experiencing. The 4 icons reflect ping, connection, update rate, and host status. Some big bug fixes are coming too. Of course, the biggest one currently is the castle glitch that causes all players to experience massive frames per second loss and slows everything down. Well, that's no longer going to be happening. So now you can stop freaking out anytime someone takes castle, wondering if it's because the glitch is about to happen. Another problem was that Monty was able to still fire his pistol in certain situations while his shield was fully extended. Now obviously that's not supposed to be happening, and as of tomorrow it won't be. There's a ton of other bug fixes coming, and while there's too many to go over each individual one, you can read the entire list on the full patch notes, which you can find on the dev blog as well as on the forums or subreddit. The links for all those are in the expanded comments below the video player. Some of the big bug fix highlights are deployable shields will no longer be able to be placed in doorways in such a way as to cause players to clip inside of walls and see or shoot through them. Instances of players sometimes being able to see through smoke grenades should now be resolved. Throwing a sticky gadget on barricades would sometimes leave that gadget floating if the barricade was torn down, and now that shouldn't occur anymore. Sometimes a claymore on the other side of a barricade going off would leave no prompt for the player to slow their blood loss if it resulted in a down but not out state, and that's been fixed. At certain times during the beginning and end of matches, you wouldn't be able to open up the scoreboard. Now you should be able to. General improvements have been made to Jaeger's ADS system for tracking projectiles more effectively. A weird glitch sometimes allows you to hear other players chat in a totally different match, and that's been taken care of. And sometimes during hostage mode, you could cause the hostage to actually be displaced by using a deployable shield glitch, and that won't work anymore. Once again, for a complete list of every fix and change, check out the official Ubisoft blog, the link for which is in the comments below the video player. You can also find it at the top of the official forums and subreddit. Those links are also down below. That wraps up the list of everything we can expect to see change for Operation Blood Orchids mid-season reinforcements update. This update goes live tomorrow, Thursday, October 26th, on all platforms. Later this week, we'll be going over some of these updates in greater detail, plus reviewing some fresh content like the new Jaeger Elite bundle that will be available tomorrow and more. So if you want to stay up to date on all the latest news, reviews, tips, tricks, walkthroughs, and more for Rainbow Six Siege, then do please like and subscribe. Be sure to click that notification icon so you're alerted as soon as I post new information on the game. You can also follow me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.